Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Right now, I want to present for my group project, which is the title is the Transportation Choice Trends, a statistical examination of student commuting at UTHM. My group member consists of five members, which is the first one is Kila binti Abdul Halim, and then myself, Muhammad Hazib bin Kamaruzaman, Muhammad Nur Fadlin Abdul Rahim, Fazana Nazira Ramli, and Muhammad Afiq Aiman Mazlan. Okay, for introduction, this research explore how students at University Tun Hussein On or UTHM choose their transportation, and then commuting patterns impact both individual experience and contribute to campus sustainability. And then the study aims to analyze UTHM students' transportation choice, highlighting trends, influencing factors, and areas for improvement. And then the last one is the research aligns with global efforts for sustainable living in education, addressing concern about carbon footprint and traffic congestion, and contribute to transportation statistics in academic content.
Hi, my name is Fadlin. Now I will present about the methodology. So for our project, the research is done by using survey questionnaire that is conducted among UTHM students. The survey is done using Google Form to gather the data about student choice of transportation and other related information. So our total number of respondents is 50 people. Data gathered is recorded and used to construct relevant question based on the requirements of this project. Now I will present about the result for the random variable, discrete or continuous data type. First, for the question, we use question 2. On average, how much time do you spend commuting to and from UTHM each day? For the total number of responses of 50 students, so we will write it in table. For the answers, the each answer, the number of responses and the probability distribution. Next we will do the table. Do the graph for the time spent commuting with the probability distribution. Next, we will find the mean of x. We do this by multiplying the number of responses with the probability distribution and add all of it, so we get 17.14. Next we will find the variance of x. We do this by adding all the sum of the number of responses square multiply with the probability distribution, then the sum we will subtract with the mean square. So we get 36.56. Next, we will find the probability of the case study. So this question is based also on question 2. Students commute between hostel and UTHM daily with different duration of time spent for the trips. The probability distribution function of the number of options selected is, we do the x for 10, 15, 30, and 45, and the probability distribution is 0.28, 0.46, 0.20, and 0.06. Find the cumulative distribution function of x. Then by using the cumulative distribution function, find the probability. So I will write the cumulative distribution function as seen here until we get the function. Then we fabricate the equation. So exactly 45 minutes, we will get the probability of 0.06. For another question, probability of the trip is more than 15 minutes, we get probability of 0.26. And lastly, the probability of the daily commute is between 15 and 45 minutes, we get the answer of 0.2.
Okay, right now I want to present the result of question situation of binomial or Poisson or normal distribution case. For this project, I choose to using binomial distribution. So based on this research, we know that the majority choose private transport as their best alternative transport for attending classes. Data collected said 38% of 50 students chose private transport. If we asking 20 students randomly, find the probability using the binomial distribution table. So for this question, we can conclude that the P is 0.38, the Q is by 1 minus 0.38 equal to 0.62, and then the N is 20. So we can ask the question for five subtopic we can choose, which is first one is there are none using private vehicle, and then there are exactly 7 students will use private transport, and then no more than 3 using private vehicle, greater than 3 will use private transport, and the last one is the at least 5 will use private transport. For this question, we will use table 1 as our reference of the probability. So for the first question, after calculating the probability value of the question, we exactly get 0.0000704. For the second question, we get 0.1774. For the third question, we get 0.0444, and for the question 4, we get 0.9556, and the last one, at least 5 will use private transport, we get 0.8818. Okay, for the next question is the calculation of sampling distribution. From this research, after calculating the mean age of the respondent, we get the mean of 23.4 years old, which is most of the respondents come from the final year's degree at UTHM. With the standard deviation is 4 years, data gained in the year 2023, a random sample of 50 students is drawn. What is the probability that the average age of this student is greater than 24 years old? So from this data, we get the mean is 23.4, the standard deviation is 4, and the n value is 50. So for this question, we will use table 3 as our reference for finding the normal distribution. So there are 4 steps to finishing this question. Okay, for answering this question, we will use 4 steps for probability of the single means. So the first step is write the mean of sample means. So for this question, the mean is 23.4, and for the second step is write the standard deviation of the sample mean, which is 4 over square root of 50. And then for the third step, we will use distribution in normal distribution from which is for this question is the 23.4 and 0.566 square the power of 2. For the first step, find the probability of the sample mean using the formula. So for this question, after calculating all the value, we get 0.446, which is we get from the table 3 of the normal distribution.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Now it's my turn to explain a calculation of estimation. In this part, the researcher want to analyze the 95% confidence interval of primary mode of transportation to UTHM for student. So there are the few steps we need to do first. So the first step is to find the mean, which is x. We're gonna add all the total respondents minus by 50, and the answer is gonna be 1. Next, the step 2 is find variance, which is s power of 2. Now the total respondent in one part, which is like 19, 57 and 9, we're gonna minus by 1, and power of 2 plus all the process, all the answer on the question, and divide by 15 minus 1, which is n minus 1, and you're gonna get a 620 divide by 49, and the variance is 12.65. The next step is to find the standard deviation. Standard deviation is s without a power of 2. So with that, the power of 2 will be transferred to the side for the 12.65, and we get a 3.557. With the value of the standard deviation, we will go to the step 4 to construct the 95% confidence interval of primary mode of transportation to UTHM for student, where x is a sample mean, s the sample of standard deviation, and n is the total of the sample. We get mean equal to 1, standard deviation equal to 3.557, the total of the sample is 50, and to get our alpha, we need to 1 minus alpha, which is a 0, equal to 0.95. We get alpha by transferring 1 to the side, which is a 0.05. Next, we need to divide the alpha value with 2 to get a 0.0025. On this, next, we're going to find the value of v, which is a n minus 1, and we got a 49. The value of v and the value of alpha we're going to use in our next slide, which is show the table for this calculation. Okay, on this slide I will show the table that we're going to use, because we already get the value of v and the value of alpha, which is a 49, and alpha is 0.025. Okay, we already got 49 for v. In this table, we do not have a specific number for it, which is a 49, so we're going to use the next biggest number that have a value for that 49, which is a 60, on the v, and the alpha is a 0.025. If we follow the red line, we're gonna get the cross section of the two lines, which is a 2.000. Okay, in this value we're gonna use on the next calculation, which is you will insert to the equation. Okay, because I forgot to say that if n is smaller than 13, we're gonna use a t distribution, which is a t in here, t 0.025 equal to 2.000. We're gonna use the equation of x plus t, the value of alpha divided by 2, and the v. So equal is 1 plus minus t 0.025 and 49, in bracket 3.557 divide by the root of 50. We got under it, we gonna transfer the value of t with our t 0.025, which is 2.00, and we calculate the inside the bracket, so we get 0.503. With this calculation, we're gonna split it by negative and the positive. For the subtraction equation, if we calculate, we're gonna get a negative 0.006. They equal, and at the same time it also equals 0 because it's very small, so the value is not so the value is so small, they just we assume is 0. For the addition equation, we got 1 plus 2.00 in bracket times 0.503, and we get 2.006. That means the lowest value we're gonna get is 0, and the mean is 1, and the highest we're gonna get is 2.006, which is same as 2. Okay, for the next slide, I'm gonna do a summary from the calculation. The analysis of transportation preference among UTHM students revealed that at least one mode of transportation is utilized by a majority of students for commuting to the university. Furthermore, the predominant trend indicates that the substantial proportion of students with the majority of two options for the multiple mode of transportation. Notable, private vehicle and the public transportation merge as the most frequently used mode, reflecting a dual preference among the student population. The observation underscore the diverse commuting practice adopted by the student body, with the private vehicle and the public transportation being the cornerstone of their transportation choice. Such insights are the crucial for understanding the community dynamic of student body, enabling the student for better cater to the various transportation requirement and hence overall accessibility for each student. So from this summary, I can say is each student at least have one mode of transportation to go to class, and some of them having a majority, the max number of transportation they mostly use is 2. And from the calculation, we find out that the most used vehicle is private transportation and the public transportation. And with that, with this data, university can probably if and make a decision to increase a total of parking lot for student, at the same time be having a extra bus for student every day. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Fazan Ezra binti Ramli. My method number is DN210031. So next I will continue with result for calculation of simple linear regression model. So this one is in chapter 6. Okay, so the table show the time that 50 students spend commuting to and from UTHM each day. So in the table, X is a student and Y is time. Student is independent and Y is dependent. Time is dependent. So equation of the least square line that will enable us to predict a time that students spend commuting to and from UTHM each day. So after I use the formula for chapter 6, and the final result, final calculation will be 0.9541 plus 1.0459 x. So that's all from me. Thank you.
So for result, for calculation of hypothesis testing, the question is: a student was conducted to examine the mode of transportation chosen by UTHM student. Focusing on influence of environmental impact, the data collected from a sample of 50 UTHM student revealed that 38% use private vehicle as their mode of transportation, while 14% prefer bicycle and the other choice public transportation and walking. Additionally, 30% of students mentioned that environmental impact influence their choice of transportation. So for step 1, we do the HO and IO, HO and H1. So U1 equal to U2, and for H1 is U1 not equal to U2. For step 2, we use this t-test of comparison properties. We use the t-test formula to find p. So after we insert the value in the formula, we get the answer is 0.26. So for step 3, the calculation for ZT formula, for Z test formula, after we insert all the information in the formula, we will get 1.738. So for step 4, since 1.738 is less than 1.96, we fail to reject the null hypothesis. And for step 5, there is not enough evidence to conclude that there is a significant difference in the properties of UTHM student using private vehicle and bicycle for commuting as a significant level of 0.05.